being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama, really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services, as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT 1179663, and licensed by the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, NMLS 1179663, Massachusetts Foreign Transmittal License, FT 1179663.
World Remit, a better way to send money. Download the app or visit worldremit.com.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right. I don't know if you can hear me. Welcome to the Ghana Agenda. For some good reason. Okay. Just quickly fix my camera and we can start. But if you're listening to me, okay, hold on. All right, let's go. Hey, welcome to the Ghana Agenda. My name is Alfred Amuzu. Today is 29th of January. The month is over, almost. It's been a long one. Everybody, I know, complains about how long January is, but we are almost to the end, and this is going to be our last show for the month. We are happy to be here on this snowy Sunday. On the East Coast, where I live in the Washington, D.C. area, is snowing. So if those of you live in the area going out, please be careful out there. I don't know how it is in Chicago and where Lifetime Legacy is, but I have those two gentlemen from those areas already in the studio. This is the earliest I've gotten Afa to join the show. Afa, welcome to the show. Lifetime Legacy.
Fire in the house.
I see today is going to be a lot of fireworks, right?
Kotoko all the way.
All right. Thank you guys for joining the show. Today we are talking about the E-levy solely. We are not talking about anything else. Even though I'm tempted to...
Please, can you do me a favor? A friend of mine in Ghana wanted to watch the show. I'll be glad if you can help me by giving me the link.
Absolutely. I'll send you the link.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So today I wanted to discuss strictly E-levy, but of course, when we get a chance, we know what is happening in the South region, the insecurity situation. I think it was just about a month ago or so, that we were here discussing the Accra Initiative and the fact that all the countries to the south of Burkina Faso usually get engaged in some operation to kind of secure our border. And so knowing that last week there was a coup d'etat in Burkina Faso, kind of put that Accra Initiative into some type of tussle. And I'll be interested for us to kind of mention a word or two on that. But strictly, I wanted to tackle E-levy, whether it should pass or not. And I'm interested in especially what FR would have to say on this one. As we wait for the others to join, let's go for a quick commercial break. I'm going to check to see where Paul and the rest of the team are. But again, this is the Ghana Agenda if you haven't already done so. Please share the link so that others who can benefit from this show would also join us and perhaps participate. If you're interested, I'll post the phone number so you can, call into the show and ask questions of the gentleman that I'll be bringing to the studio today to help us digest this topic that we have tabled for discussion, which is strictly E-levy. Should it pass or should it be dropped? So, gentlemen, we would take a quick break and be right back.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome back, gentlemen. I don't believe I properly introduced you, so let me do that quickly. So today in the studio we have with Afa Amayao. Afa Amayao, it's FIU engineer by profession. You can help me actually state that, but I think Afa is an engineer by profession, a businessman himself. And he speaks for the MPP out of the United States. We also have in studio Lifetime Legacy, who is currently in school studying for his master's degree. He is an NDC spokesperson, and he's been on the show multiple times. He's, a lot to deal with. He has a lot of firework in him, and we expect that he's bringing some of that today. And I'm also joined by the legendary Paul DeSosu, who is an engineer also. Paul is a communication engineer, sort of, and he's out of Massachusetts. He speaks for the NDC. Paul, welcome to the show. Lifetime Legacy and Efa, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother.
Great. Paul, I like the picture. You're looking good. Everybody's looking very good today. I'm sure you are all doing well in your various locations.
He's preparing for ministerial appointment.
I see that. By saying that, you mean that NDC is coming to government in 2024?
I didn't say in 2025, in the future.
All right. Good.
I'm
good,
happy
good,
to see my brother Efa here. The good news for me this afternoon that he didn't run away from me, and I am here to provide figures, data, figures, and we are going to speak based on figures this afternoon. And I'm happy he's here. Thank you very much, my brother Efa, for coming. I really appreciate it. And Lifetime Legacy also to welcome to this show.
Thank you. I will take this opportunity to wish all of you Happy New Year.
All right.
We haven't get a chance to meet as a family this year. So it's an honor and privilege once again to be on the same table with you guys. And may the year be fruitful to all of you.
Thank you so much. All right, so Lifetime Legacy, that link will be sent to you shortly. But guys, before we jump into the conversation, let me take a preliminary comment from Efa. I didn't hear you say anything. Efa, what are you expecting out of this show? The topic is one that I suspect where you will land. You would want this, task to be passed. But before we get into the show, are there any expectations? Are there some questions that you really want me to stress so that you can hammer and the discussion?
Always a pleasure to be here, to add to what we all think should be the way forward towards what we all think the development of the country should be.
Right.
And, except a few, off-track propaganda from my good friend Paul and Lifetime Legacy. It's always a pleasure to be around. We can always agree to disagree on some issues and take it up from there. What I want to say is that when we come, as much as possible, we can do the politics, but it is important that we enrich this program and then make it, one of the best out there. For the listeners, we may not always get it right? I mean, we humans, and as humans, sometimes we go off track. We want to, portray our side to be the best and stuff like that. So when we go off, they should have mercy on us and not crucify us. Other than that, they should contribute and let us all make sure that, we correct ourselves and together we get to the destination where we ascribe ourselves to. Thank you. And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. And in that vein, I don't know if Paul, you also want to say one or two words to set expectations before we jump into the program.
Well, as I've stated already, I mean, truth is the truth, nothing but the truth. Let's make sure that we speak the truth and let's speak with figures and data. That's all that I would guess for. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Lifetime Legacy, any?
Well, I don't have much to say, but I'm happy to know that all of us on the table here have people with engineering background.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to know this. So I think
I was in the University of Science and Technology, which is the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Paul, was that where you attended as well?
I went to Methodist University, and when I came here, I did my first master's degree in Ohio University, and the second master's degree in University of Massachusetts. So these are the two places I did those two master's degrees.
Right.
I went to KNUST, but I did not do anything in the science. The sciences, but the social science. We were the social guys.
All right.
And then I went to do some environmental studies in Germany.
Okay.
And here I did IT, network engineering, a little bit, some certification,
Absolutely.
Network engineering, and that's what I practice for now. But a special community organizer, that is, one aspect you can take away from me. Yeah.
Yes, I know you are big in the Chicago area.
When it's time for you to launch your parliamentary or any of those things, behind the scenes, we are on the opposite side, but I'll give you some tidbits.
Thank you
I
very
know,
much.
no, like I was going to say that, like you said earlier on, Paul will be appointed a minister. Then he can give you some subsidiaries.
Oh, it's okay. I'll take it. Once he's in there and he gives you.
All
I
right.
remember you. I remember you, my brother. I remember you.
Okay. All right, great. Guys, as much as possible, let's keep the cameras on so that it makes editing after the show really smooth. First question I wanted to really pose observation is we've all witnessed what happened in Parliament over the week. And it appears that everything was set for this bill to be brought for discussion or for the question to be put. But each time, it wasn't done. And now it appears the speaker is about to proceed on leave. Let me start with Afa on this one, being that you are on the MPP side. Why did the majority miss the opportunity to place the question or to put the question last week when everyone was in Parliament, including the speaker himself? Why did we miss that opportunity? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, thank you very much. And I haven't had any briefing on that yet, except what we are all reading in the news. And, the news can be saturated with, whatever. But if you judge from what we're getting, there's a political twist to it coming from, the opposite side. Unless we have an official communication, we can't really say what really was the reason why business of the day didn't come off. And for that, any other thing will be speculative, right? Because what we are picking is tidbits. But I am also concerned about the delay in us passing this bill. And I think that, everybody can have an opinion to it. You don't want it, you want it and stuff like that. But I think that if Parliament gets the opportunity and they sit and officially everything is set to go, I want to see it put forward, and I want to see us clear that hurdle on our head. We want it or we don't want it, and then we proceed to the next part of that, because it should have been passed by now and revenue start collection and stuff like that. But for now, it looks as if there's some opposition and government is trying to do what it can to pass it. But why Parliament did not meet officially, I don't know why, except what we read in the news. And then we can take it all, as the gospel truth or whatever it is. That is not up to me to judge. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, let me bring the same question to Paul. Paul, do you suspect there's a reason that the majority failed to? Because if you look at even the other papers throughout last week, there was not a single day that the E-levy was put on the agenda for discussion. And the rest of us are sitting back and saying, well, here's where you have, everybody present. And the government side has been waiting. Is it, should we suspect that even within the ranks of the majority that there may be some defections? What have you been hearing from your circles?
Thank you very much for that question. Just to say that my good brother, if I started right there with political donation, saying that there was a political choice to all what is going on. And that is not true. What are the records? The business order paper of the day is being presented by the majority leader, who is a member of the MPP. On Tuesday, when Parliament met after the long break, the first thing or the expectation of both houses was that the majority leader was going to bring the E-levy discussion for it to be debated upon and a vote cast upon. Lo and behold, the E-levy discussion never appeared on the order paper of the whole week. When the minority side raised questions, the minister in charge of parliamentary affairs and a majority leader and a member of the MPP in government stated that they are doing more consultation and that they will bring in the E-levy into the House next week, and that they want to do more collaboration and speak to more people. Well, the Speaker of Parliament has no choice. As I stated the last time, he is there to guide. He has no choice. If the leader of government business is saying that their side is not ready, you cannot force them. So based upon this note, that is the understanding that both the majority and the minority had prior to the business starting on Tuesday, just this week. To our surprise, yesterday, the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Che Mensa Bonsu, Che Mensa, is it Osei Che Mensa, just sprang a surprise that they are trying to reintroduce, or they are trying to bring back the E-levy, discussion on the floor, if by his contact, the feedback that they went to do, or the collaboration that they went to the field to do,
the consultation that they did,
there's a positive feedback, then they'll bring it back. That is total disrespect in the first place.
Why do you think
so? Surprised and I'm disappointed in the minority side for not rejecting to it, because you cannot say one thing and say another thing just within some few days.
Right.
That is what we call mistrust. So I believe the majority leader is creating a lot of mistrust around this E-levy. Lo and behold, the Speaker of Parliament that they've been blaming that he's been running away from his responsibility was in Parliament as early as 9 a.m. yesterday, because they did agree on Thursday that proceedings will start at 10 a.m. in the morning. So the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Aban Sumani Bagbin, was in Parliament House as early as 9 a.m. Sitting never took place. 2 p.m. he asked why is sitting not taking place. The same majority leader, Che Osei Mensa, was giving a lot of friendly excuses. 5 p.m. when they came to sit down, the Speaker asked, is this business ready? He said, no, give us some more 1 hour to take a decision. And don't forget that the Speaker is not feeling well. He is taking medical treatment. And the Speaker is due to travel out of Ghana this evening, back for medical leave. And he's going to stay away for 1 solid month. Now the question is, you blame the Speaker. The Speaker was ready. Why weren't you ready? Number 2, you said you were going to do more consultation. We all saw the town hall meeting they held, which was full of lies from the Minister of Finance, through the Minister of Communication, through the Deputy Minister, Deputy Majority Leader. They all came to lie at the town hall meeting they held in Koforidua. I watched it. And I'm going to come out with all the lies that they went to tell the good people of Ghana. And if you notice, you see that these people have issues. Also, based on the collaboration which they said they were doing, they met with the minority in Parliament. And the Minister of Finance said that he was ready to come down to 1.15, from 1.75 to 1.15. But still, the minority said they will not budge to that.
All right.
So the question we are asking right now is, which of the figures are we working with? And I think my good brother Ifa should be in a good position to tell us. Are we working with the 1.75, or we are working with the 1.50 that the Minister of Finance just proposed 48 hours ago? Okay. We are at a loss. The caveat over here is, if the Minister of Finance truly is saying that he's reducing the rate from 1.75 to 1.5, which means it's a new budget that he has to present to Parliament.
Right. I think we're going to try to explore that.
Exactly. Yes, come for a new document.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So definitely
for my brother to be saying that the NDC were playing political tricks, it is rather the NPP led by the majority leader in Parliament who were playing games and playing on the intelligence and emotions of members of Parliament.
Right.
Look, my brother, this E-levy, whether they want or whether they like it, they should try and use their numbers. And they got a fine opportunity the whole of this week to use their 138 number they claim they have to pass it. They did not do that because some of their members of Parliament are out of the jurisdiction. And if I know, So they know they don't have the numbers. That is why they were playing political gimmicks with us. It is sad for my brother Ifa to come and sit here this afternoon to be telling you and I that we're playing political twist.
So it's not an issue of defections within their rank. It's just
no. They didn't have the numbers.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, they don't have a good explanation to give and to convince the minority in supporting them in passing the bill.
I mean, the minority doesn't have to support them, right? The minority's position is whatever you do,
it is zero.
Exactly. They want this bill. But anyway, I think you've said a lot, and I would like Effa to respond to a few of that before I bring Lifetime Magazine, because being that the two of you are on the NDC side, I don't want him to miss the point. So Effa, you've heard a lot. The suggestion is that your people are out of jurisdiction and you are wasting everybody's time in the middle of bringing a question for this bill to be voted on. You change the numbers. So you are suggesting that, I wanted to talk about that change from 1.75 to 1.5. That's a question we'll have to deal with, but he laid a lot of this out. What is your response to that?
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, you've done a good job. Thanks. So you see, if I say there's a political twist to that, right? I am not saying political twist as in the parliamentarians and we're going to meet, we are not going to meet. I am talking about it as they've not given us official position and people are trying to explain the situation politically. That is what I'm saying. So as we speak right now, the position is that NDC is not going to support this thing, even if we bring it 0.50, 0.2, whatever. They're not. Because that is what they've been told, right? That they should not support it no matter what. They just don't want the E-levy. Okay? So we on what basis are we going to convince you that this and this and this? So that is that. Paul, it is not true that if figures change in the budget, you have to present a whole budget. Now, that's not true. You remember that when the budget was presented, it was 137 billion, right? But the appropriation bill was 147 or so, about 10 billion added to it. It doesn't mean go and bring the minorities will add this,
amendment. You have to bring an amendment. That was
exactly. So it's good.
Thank you for correcting me, and I've admitted it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So we got it on the move. So that is what we've been. There was a time when the minority, maybe we could have accepted it, and then he was hammered and he said, no, I'm not going to accept anything. So for me, the debate actually has been the percentage of being charged, right? That is the issue. It is not that they don't want it. Paul, trust me, the NDC knows that this is good. But, for purposes of politics, it's going to help you guys. If you oppose it and it doesn't go on, it's going to help you, because we are not going to be able to achieve certain things. So that is that. Now, so let's go to Parliament. Why these things are not happening. And anything we're going to say right now is going to be speculation, because other than that, we don't have any official statement coming from Parliament, right? On our part, we don't have a problem. We believe that there need to be, like you said, there need to be more consultations. Okay? For me sitting here personally, I think that people's minds are made up. If you want to pass it, go pass it. Just go to Parliament, pass it. Because consultation towards what? You're going to say this, it will be twisted. That's as Paul is saying. They will look at certain whatever inaccuracy or whatever and then push it in. So go to Parliament, gather your numbers and pass. But there is a reason why, there's kind of some delay. Because there's the belief that not enough has been done as far as consultation is concerned. The issue we are dealing with right now is not just passing it, okay? The issue we are dealing with is what people are going to do after it is passed. We've seen it before, right? That when you pass it, then it's going to move from now it's parliamentary show and a little bit of radio stuff, right? But immediately you passed it, right? It's going to move away from Parliament. President assent to it. And then what is going to happen? I'm not going to mention what is going to happen here. And we don't want that. because already there is a lot that we need to do. So we don't want to add more to whatever is going to happen that is going to disturb the situation.
Right.
Demonstration will happen. Demonstration will happen.
Yeah, I know you guys. We know we have also picked intelligence that you plan a series of stuff. You know, you have a lot of stuff you want to do. If this don't work, this is the way we're going to go. So we picked on all that. So it is not really about the passage. It is about making sure that, you know, we are in government. If anything happens, it affects us. It is our name that is going to mention, and we are people that are ready there with hammers in their two hands to hammer us to the ground. So we gotta be careful about that.
Right.
So me, I am also sitting here frustrated about what is happening. But believe you me, I know this is going to pass. It's just a matter of time. So if government is buying time, if parliamentarians are buying time, it is good for the good people of Ghana, even though it is not good as far as revenue collection and you know the economy is concerned. But you know, Paul, we should all know that the more we delay, even if we succeed in not making this pass, it is just going to affect us in certain areas. Right. And already the government has hinted that there won't be infrastructure. First order infrastructure now we're being told is gonna, if need be, if you don't have the money, we're going to cut it by 20%. And that is huge for an economy like Ghana. So do we want these things to happen? Are we not going to help to get the infrastructure? Is it not good governance that we want? Is it not the money? You know, we can make all these arguments, but the opposition is not going to support. So the government, you know, behind the scene, we have what we talk behind the scene. The government, what to do, what they got to do, and make sure this is passed. For me, I support it. It needs to be passed, and so that we can collect the money and be able to hold the government to its toes when it comes to judicious use of resources and revenue mobilization. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Lifetime legacy. Don't hammer me too much. I'm a lone elephant. Okay.
I'm sure your brother will be joining you shortly in terms of Professor Dr. Ato Kamina. Lifetime legacy. You know, we are hearing that you know, from my father that this is going to be passed, from what he understands. But of course, there are some series of actions that the opposition is planning, and you know, care has to be taken and make sure, you know, the necessary consultation is done before a bill like this is passed. I know that Joy FM and a couple of other institutions have done surveys on the streets, and out of 10 people that would have been interviewed, you see about 8 or 9 of them saying they are against this. What is your position? Do you think we should pass this or not? And again, if you can opine on what the first question was, which is, what do you think was the cause of the delay? We understanding that is because people are out of the jurisdiction. Others are speculating that perhaps it's because there are defections in the party, which is just a speculation at this point. What do you know? What are you hearing? And what is your position on this?
Thank you, Alfred, and my other colleagues. I think MPP, as a party that I know, one thing I can admire them is that regardless of whether the thing is good or wrong, you can see all of them playing the same way. They're
united.
They are very united when it comes to a common goal.
Right.
Hardly will you find a divergent view in among them when it comes to issues like this. So you realize that for them,
why do you think that is the case? Do you think it's because they've been in opposition for so long that the longer you've been in opposition, you learn to stick together?
No, I don't think that is the reason. There is a common thing that binds them together. Okay. You see, they don't see the wrong of each other.
Okay.
So whatever one person does, even if it is wrong to their side, it is okay. Other than that, how can we have a situation where we have people from the academia, we have the people from the ordinary people from the market, I mean, people of all walks of life are saying that this policy that you are bringing affects us. We don't like it. But they will go ahead and you see every single person who is speaking on this issue defending it. You get it? So for them, they don't see wrong when the moment it's coming from the king does no wrong. You get it? So you could even realize that right from onset, my brother Ifa, who initially disagreed with the position of this E-levy, gradually was beginning to support, even though deep within he don't like it.
Right.
You get it. They have no option. Now, the issue of why they had a fine opportunity.
But your own leader in parliament, Haruna, suggested that perhaps if they bring it to 1%, that the NDC would accept it. So it's not like the NDC is really against E-levy. My understanding is even, some manifesto of NDC apparently captured the E-levy in there, which we'll be talking about. But the consensus among the political class is E-levy is a thing that they want to bring on board as to how what rate. Yeah.
Let me speak on the reason why they had a privilege to do it this week and they were unable. When I finish with that, I'll come back to the very question you are talking about now. Now, I am highly optimistic that MPP did not have the numbers this week. If they had the numbers and Speaker was around, they would have used the opportunity to do so. I think somewhere yesterday, on the other paper, the E-levy thing appeared.
Oh, yesterday it wasn't on the other paper. The other paper usually get released a day prior. So
I saw something on the social media. I don't know whether I got it right, but I saw something to that effect. So if MPP had the numbers and they know that Speaker is sitting in the chair, they would have put it. They would have posed that surprise. Okay, they would have posed that surprise by bringing it and marshalling all their members to vote to it. Then they will not even waste their time doing consultation, let alone proposing that the best we can do is to reduce it from 1.75 to 1.5. If they have the numbers, the way they were determined before the parliament resumed, they will give a bluff to everybody.
Right.
So for me, that thing, they are very good at it. If they have the numbers and they can do whatever they can and succeed successfully to help with everybody. So I strongly agree with my brother Paul that they were not having the numbers. They had if they had the numbers, back when is sitting in the chair, there's a clear opportunity they could have utilized it, but they don't have the numbers. Now, coming back with the poll, Joy FM on 2 occasions conducted 2 polls. The first one was a day before Parliament resumed. The second one was after the MPP had a town hall meeting in Kufodia. Now, the first poll, 98% of Ghanaians say they don't like it.
Right.
And I am not sure the 98% are all NDC members. Okay.
Right.
After the poll, they had a meeting, the town hall meeting. Joy of them conduct another poll, and 82% says that they don't like it. So I am not sure that 82% are all Ghanaians. You get it? So the whole thing is that the basic question everybody is asking is that MPP, over the last 5 years, you have more than 400 billion. What did you do with that money?
They don't have more than 400 billion. What are you talking about? The loans they've taken all together from all our presidents together is about 344. So how did they get 400 billion?
Okay. So in the infrastructure development fund, there was about close to 200 million in that account.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And stabilization fund, there was so much in it. The heritage fund, you get it.
How much was in it?
They had close to 400 billion to their destiny. So if you are unable to make good use of 100, okay, or let's even granted that the 200 that they borrowed, if you are unable to make good use of 200, what will the 6.9 do to you? That is the questions everybody is asking. And there is my brother Ifa also make a submission that NDC in principle believe in the E-levy because we stand to benefit when we come into government. Let me tell you something. NDC is not supporting this not because, or NDC, we don't believe in this, because let me tell you one thing. As soon as this E-levy bill is passed, MPP will go ahead and collateralize it. We know this. They will collateralize it and rate, and they will do it such a way that even when NDC comes into government for 8 years, there is no way we'll be able to benefit from this money.
All right.
You get it? So we know how diabolic and mischievous they are. They want to eat the chicken and the egg, everything before they leave power.
I hear
so that they will create debt for us to come and pay. That is what they want to do.
I'm sure FI is taking notes on all this, and he's
got it. So, my brother Ifa, we know that Sebi, the Osune Munu na Morin and Osune Munu, Nanya Osune Bodia, and a Bear Mubibi. You get it. All that I want to say is that the whole elephant itself, you have having the elephant to yourself, not the tail of the elephant to change anything. What I simply mean is that 400 billion could not do you anything. What will 6.9 do?
All right. Okay.
And this particular levy is going to be a burden on the poor, the people who are ready, the charcoal seller, the palm wine tapper, the zomi seller. They are because after you and I, should this bill be passed, you and I will have a way out so that we will not be affected by this bill.
Yeah.
You get it? The rich in the society will not be affected.
Right.
You get it? So it is the poor who will suffer. And you and I have a duty to fight this government so that the poor will not suffer. Because at the end of the day, the burden will come back to us.
All right. So a couple of comments came through. Let's take a question from one of our commentators and then see how we deal with this. First one is from Queen Gina is watching us and wants the team to know that we appreciate Queen watching. Joyce,
when is he joining us?
When is Queen Gina joining us?
He came once and that was it.
I hear you, Queen. The question is put. When are you joining us? Come back, all right. And then, of course, Joyce Enim is watching us as well. Joyce, I don't know if you, you want to join us at some point too. But thanks for watching. Please share the link so others can also benefit from the show. Now, I also have Atankugu Asana. He says, Kakape, the question your financial minister ran away from is, what category of taxes would you categorize the E-levy? Help us answer that question. In other words, I think he's trying to say, how would you categorize the E-levy? Well, what type of tax would that be? Kakape, if you can take note of that and answer to Mr. Asana. And my future member of parliament for Ketusaft, Mr. Nukunu Foga. This guy actually ran for parliament, and I think he lost narrowly to Jifagu Mashi. And I'm sure he has future ambitions as well to run again. So let's highlight that on the Ghana agenda. He's asking...
Can I get his contact after the show, please?
Nukunu Foga.
The MP, the Fuga guy.
Absolutely, I will share that with you. Foga is asking, when candidate Nana Addo said Ghana has money, was that targeted in our pockets? I think these are the questions we are getting from our folks who are watching us. So I don't know, Kapape, do you want to answer that last one? He says, it was a target, our pocket. I think we knew we had a vice president who was an economics, and he says so many things. The money is here in Ghana. Tax in what do you call it?
It was a lazy man's approach.
It was a lazy man's approach that there is productive activities, the mining sector. There's so many different things. I mean, if a country like us that has gold would want to tax transfers between people just to realize revenue, there has to be something wrong. How do you answer to Foga's question?
Yeah, thank you. I'll answer that in two folks. When Trump won the elections, right, the first day in office, there was this rumor where they met him and said, Mr. President, there is what you do during campaign, and there is what you do when you win the election. So many of the things you said during the campaign,
between governance and campaigning,
you can practice them. Okay, so that is number one. There are so many things that have been said in the campaign, we use certain statements for political purposes, just to win power. In fact, one of the
you use certain words just to win political power.
Political talk.
One of the abuse statements which we use both parties is friends and family, and I've always been said it is friends and family. What do you mean friends and family? If I get appointment in the government, Paul is going to come. I can't push him away. Even though we are here, we hammer each other, but he's going to come. And now I'm going to go to Ghana, right? There's one guy that I'm going to see. He's a big man in the NDC in our area. He's connected. What do? You got to go there and fix it. So we can stay here and hammer it, but when you win, it is a totally different thing. But you see, okay, so most of the things that President said is true. I will never allow my political party or government to come and tell me that go communicate that Ghana is poor. Ghana is not poor. It is mismanagement that has led us to where we are now. Right?
So what are you saying? Are you saying that?
So if I is admitting that another mismanaged the economy.
No. Okay. So if you see, when we go on that tangent, right, that is when it becomes specific, and then we spoil the discussion. Okay. Right. Because I did not mention a name, and if we are going to discuss it without mentioning a name, that is going to help us all.
Okay.
But if immediately we start mentioning names, it's going to affect us. What Nana said is true. All right. Now it is up to us to judge him by his statement. Right. Exactly. But Ghana is not poor. Kai, no. I'm from the Bono East. We are not poor. but the resources are taken. There's no correspondence. Today, unfortunately, we did not even observe a mini talent for the people of Bogos or Apiati. Right. They take the gold from the area. Look at the sort of housing these people are staying in. Right? And this is government upon government, generation upon generation, king after king. The people are neglected. And then the people at the top, the Article 71 people, they are the ones who enjoy. And then one day, Ghana is not there though. But one day, then you see a Burkina Faso or you see a Guinea or something in the country. God forbid. Okay.
God forbid.
So we are not poor as a country. It's mismanagement, and that statement is true to today. Yet
so how is it that a country that is not poor is telling its citizens that I need to test your, mobile wallet and get 6.9 million, and if I don't do so, there are going to be catastrophic consequences.
Yeah. So
I mean, it doesn't.
It adds up, but we gotta situate it. So you see, if we look at the countries that are doing well, right, there is a consistency of something they do, not just somebody took over and all of a sudden is pushing stuff. When that one happens, it's good array. So that consistency has not been in terms of industrialization, production. Our GDP growth have been, on and off and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, maybe some catastrophe may hit in or whatever it is, whatever name you want to put it. So that has been the trend. So irrespective of that, we should have been better than where we are now. That is a fact. And if we want to run away from it and push it towards one person, then that is up to us. That is true. Now, so talking about the Tisikaso accommodation and right now we need to tax, else we're gonna. You see, there may be. You see, when we say such things, it is like you went outside and brought maybe a towel into your room, and that towel is giving you catarrh. So it is just that towel. But meanwhile, you've been involved in whatever fumigation and blah blah. But when you take that one out, sometimes it takes something small for the bigger thing to happen. Now, Ghana, as we are right now, we're facing basically two challenges. We're facing basically two challenges as a country: infrastructure and employment. And once we're able to tackle these two, the others will roll over it. Is that not what is the case? We've gotten the fundamentals right,
but
we're managing to get it right.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to bring others in, but note this question down because you mentioned that what we need to spark that growth perhaps is infrastructure and jobs, right?
Yeah.
This 6.9, how much do you think this would have impacted infrastructure? How much infrastructure do you think we could have gotten out of 6.9 billion? Because that money has been earmarked. They already earmarked it for jobs, right? And then they turn around and then everybody on the NAPCO has been released. I mean, so how are you? Oh, that's fake news.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, we received the letter. So you see, I have a lot to say, but in fact, today I have time. So if they can add more, that would be. If add more, that would be great. But I don't want to sound too political because the conversation is going really well. So you see, what I wanted to say in that area is that there are a lot of infrastructure projects that are ongoing. We need to finish up on that. Okay, those ones, money has been sourced for them. You see, then it gets released as and when we go and all that. Talk about the Aerojet and more that we need to add. You get what I mean? I don't know the percentage of this that will be added, but you see, if anybody is telling you that the E-levy is the one that is going to take care of the rest of our future infrastructure, that is not true.
Nice.
No, that
I'm glad that. No, I'm glad that you could say that.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. And then now, you see, if they also say that because of the E-levy, we are not going to borrow, that is not true. Okay? But what we want to do is borrowing at a decreasing rate that reduces our GDP and debt rate, downward and not increase it upward. That should be the understanding. You get what I mean? So as we try to pay some of our debt, we don't go to the point where if we are 85, it is going towards 90, 100 and all that kind of stuff. That is my understanding of it. And that is what makes sense to me. But if you tell me that totally no borrowing, oh, come on now.
You are not telling us the truth. Okay, great. On that note.
Yeah, come on now. Now, having said that, quickly. Lifetime legacy. You see, the academia, right? They oppose VAT, but VAT has existed. The academia opposed most of the taxes Mahama introduced, but they have existed. Okay. Now we, when we were introducing the communication tax, I'm sure the academia opposed it. There is not a single tax that has not been opposed. Who embraced tax? But you see, our problem that I would admit with you, and don't put it on this government, is that consistently the Ghanaians pay the taxes, the corporate people have paid the taxes, and the poor have paid the taxes. But you see, there is little to show for that.
Right.
And they are asking questions. That is, and I think the government is listening too. That's what they want to do and give the assurances that want to do better than we've done in the past.
This time
around, and this time around, the employment is key to us because youth employment as a threat has resonated throughout this whatever
West African region.
Yeah, and we need to tackle it. Yeah. We can't go on that tangent.
Right.
Now, lastly on what Lifetime Legacy said. Lifetime Legacy, you see, we are building a country together. And I know deep down, NDC, if they were in power, will say we want to increase the revenue. You cannot increase the revenue under the existing tax regime. You may have to introduce some taxes of a sort. And you guys, we should be honest, you're going to tackle this area. Or maybe you would have done it in a different way, but you would have tackled this area and maybe perhaps brought a higher percentage than this. Me, the percentage is even small, but when people are complaining, you got to come down.
Right.
We need to tax an area that is giving us that. You see, the transaction in that area is hitting 1 trillion this year. Hey!
Now, I think it's a misguided assertion. I mean, transactions can go through the roof on transfers. it does not mean we should.
Okay.
Alfred, there is one thing.
Hold your point. Let me go to Paul.
1 minute and then I'm gonna wait, please.
Oh, you had the last point. I wanted to kind of go to Paul. He's been waiting.
I'll let you hammer. You see, when we were introducing the communication tax, right? The communication service tax. The same argument was, that is why the government don't really buy the idea that it's going to affect anything.
Right.
The same argument was made that people are going to get off. But what did we see? It either skyrocketed. I yelled.
All right. Great. Paul, I never thought, I would never dream about us coming on this show and hearing FA say that we pay all these taxes, but nothing to show for it. Those words, I never expected them.
I said little. I didn't say nothing. I said little.
So, I'm happy.
Maybe he belongs to the Alan camp.
So I'm saying, FA is making a lot of the points that I was expecting from Paul. So Paul, should you even say anything or just keep quiet and listen to FA?
No, I'm grateful and I'm happy that IFA has finally said the truth or told the truth this afternoon.
Right.
And what is the truth? The truth is that IFA has admitted on this show that Ghana is being mismanaged under the president of Nana Addo Dankwa.
I think he's going to
don't mistake me. I didn't mention name. So you see, that's
I'm making 24 easy for you. So, Paul, you want to take those comments very nicely.
Let's deal with the issue. Yes, the truth of the issue is that Ghana is being managed under this super incompetent president.
All right.
Why am I saying so? Mr. Amuzo, the E-levy that they are talking about, expected revenue that is supposed to generate in a year is 6.9 billion Ghana cedi.
Yeah.
This 6.9 billion Ghana cedi, the experts, the financial analysts, the financial experts have categorically stated that even if they are about to generate 50% of it, which is about 3.45 billion, it will be a surprise. Because this is the first time they are going to introduce thing. There will be resistance from all quarters. People who used to use the service will decide not to use the service again. People will stop using the services and all those stuff. But Mr. Amus, the question over here that I want to put, or I want to ask this, the 6.9 billion that they are chasing, is it bigger than the 12.85 billion that was lost due to irregularity revenue losses in 2020? I am not saying it. It's the Auditor General's report that is stated that in 2020, the financial irregularities sum up to 12.8 billion Ghana cedi.
And just to quickly interject, the irregularities has been with us.
No, I'm coming there. I'm coming there. I'm not going to be an ostrich.
Thank you, Paul. I love you today. Thank you, Paul.
I am not being an ostrich.
No, thank you.
Right now. In 2016,
right,
financial irregularity was 718 million, not billion. Take note, million.
Okay.
This super incompetent president, vice president, and the folks of IFA and Co. made a lot of noise in Ghana that the NDC administration is corrupt.
Right.
Based upon that, the good people of Ghana voted for them and they came into power in 2017. 2017, the financial irregularity loss is 12 billion. 2018, it dropped down to 3 billion. 2019, it shot up to 5.468 billion.
All right.
In 2020, we have 12.8 billion.
Okay, let me ask this quickly, right? Usually the audits are lagging. When you're doing an audit for 2017, that would have been covering the financial transactions for 2016. It wouldn't be for 2017. So if you see a 12
I am not saying, you can even say, let's admit it.
Yeah. If you say
admit your concern.
12
you are
billion
saying
in
that,
2017.
you are saying that the 2017 audit is an audit done in 2016.
Yeah.
I agree. No problem. I agree. Let's move on.
So it dropped under them, and then it climbed back up to that 12
It is not
billion.
true.
I mean,
It's shot
in
under them.
2018, you are saying that 2018
it shot up to 5.468 billion
from 12 billion. So he
Yes.
actually dropped. He actually
No.
dropped.
No.
He went from 12 billion in 2017 to 5 billion in
2018, it went to 8.07 billion. 2019, 5.46 billion. Mr. Amuzu,
So
it's
still a
under
drop
the
from that,
presidency of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And 2020, it shot up to 12.85 billion.
Right.
My question is, if all this money are lost as a means of financial irregularities, why would the super incompetent Nana Addo and Bawumia not rather look for an avenue to block a lot of these loopholes to recruit money in?
Right.
That's number one. Number two.
Now, okay, I think there's an answer to that question, but I'll wait for you to finish. Go ahead.
Number two. Mr. Amuzu, in 2020, the allocation sent to the Office of Government Machinery was 2.515 billion. In 2021, it shot up by 67%, which moved to 3.25 billion. Out of this 3.25 billion as a money that was allocated to the Office of Government Machinery, which include the presidency. It is this money that the president is using to rent a jet that we are paying 15,000 pounds an hour, and the jet is sitting on the tarmac.
Right.
Number one. Number two, it is this same money that the president has rented or they bought a brand new Toyota Land Cruiser, costing about $78,000, and the president decided that he's allocated one Toyota Land Cruiser for his chair. Wherever he's going to, they put his chair in a one Toyota Land Cruiser, and the chair follow him, and they buy fuel into that car.
Okay, what would you rather do? Would you rather have the president?
Can you allow me to make the analysis?
Please.
I'm trying to tell you that these people are really mismanaging the economy, just like Efa said. So I am telling you some of the ways they are mismanaging the economy.
Right.
How can you buy a Land Cruiser, Toyota Land Cruiser, costing almost $78,000, and just having a chair that the president sits on, be putting in that car with a bodyguard? That annoys me most is that even that chair has a bodyguard. These are some of the mismanagement that Efa is talking about.
Right.
Number three, we are here and we are talking about, how do you call it? Raising 6.9 billion for E-levy. Mr. Musu, the increment of 67%, that's over 500 and over 600 something million, that was added to the Office of Government Machinery. That money could have been reduced. Okay? They could have reduced that amount so that they can get that 6.9 billion to facilitate how they want to use this 6.9 billion from the E-levy to operate.
Right.
Mr. Amuzu, nevertheless, as we said, this government is the luckiest government in the history of Ghana. Why am I saying so, Mr. Amuzu? And I said today we are going to speak with fact and figures and data.
Right.
From 2017 to date, revenue that this government has collected from the good people of Ghana sums up to 266 billion Ghana cedi. And they've borrowed 221 billion Ghana cedi within these 5 years. When you add those two figures together, this government alone have gotten over 487 billion Ghana cedi as money allocated to them. What can they show for with this money?
Right.
And yes, have every right to resist, to come against the E-levy, because if you've been given or you've accrued 487 billion cedis, and there's nothing to show for, there's nothing to prove with. Even though they said
there's little to show for it, not nothing. There's something.
There's nothing to show for it, Mr. Amuzu. Even though they claim that, they've been paying the loans that the S1 Mahama and then
administration,
how come our loan deficit is increasing? Our loan portfolio is increasing. Mr. Amuzu, if I come here, there are figures here that if I tell you, okay, As we speak, look at it. Our how do we call it? For now, as we speak, 1 minute. As we speak, okay. Our revenue, okay. Losses, revenue versus expenditure. As we speak, the expenditure budgeted for 2022 is about 100 billion Ghana cedi. But
2022 is actually 137, right?
No, it's 137 billion Ghana cedi.
Right.
But the revenue that is coming in is 100 million. Yeah. So there's a deficit of 37 billion Ghana cedi.
But that has been the case. That has been the case since Kwame Nkrumah. So we've always.
I'm not. I speak with data and fact. I'm not going to lie. Look, let me give you some figures over here. In 2012, the deficit was, the revenue income as against the deficit. When you look at it, it was 16.7 billion revenue came in. The deficit was about 12.9 billion. Okay, it's not a big deal. 2013, we had 90.5 billion of revenue that we recruited in, and the expenditure went to.
So what you're trying to say is the expenditure is growing faster, way faster than we are seeing.
It was growing steadily, but under this super incompetent government, it has shut up faster. And why is this not happening? Right. It is happening because if I knew that the 2020 election, look, let me give you the figure for the 2020 election, we exceeded revenue target. That the revenue that we brought in was 72.5 billion. Okay, but the revenue expenses was 96.4 billion.
The expenditure.
Expenditure. They saved money because it's an election year.
Right.
I am saying that until Efa and his government stop this mismanagement, which my brother Efa admitted this afternoon on this show, that Ghana has money, but it is due to mismanagement. Until they stop the mismanagement of the economy, Ghana will continue to be in debt. I am also saying over here that the NPP has no choice, okay, to burden the Ghanaian with this E-levy, because the Ghanaian is already burdened with a lot of taxes, such as border tax, COVID tax, VAT tax,
condom tax.
Mention them.
Anyway, backup has arrived. So,
Mr. Muzu, a fast spoke for almost 50 minutes. I've spoken for only 12 minutes. Can you allow me to make my case?
You are on the floor.
I am saying that this super incompetent NPP government, which by the way, Dr. Atu is part of it, they know and they understand that they are misusing the resources of the good people of Ghana. I am saying here and there over there that they appropriate the money that comes in, and they will come and be telling lies to the good people of Ghana. Why am I saying so also, Mr. Muzo? We all heard 2 weeks ago that GRA stated that they've exceeded their revenue target. How can you be telling us that COVID has come to affect the economy? Because of the COVID, the economy is going downward, things are not going well, but your GRA, the revenue agency of the country, is exceeding its target over 22 or 25%. It does not make sense. I am saying here that the E-levy, the good people of Ghana will oppose it. There is a choice for them to go to the IMF. The reason why Efa and Dr. Atu's party do not want to go to IMF is that, number one, they know, they know that if they go to IMF, IMF is going to audit the account of the country.
All right.
And I bet you, all these figures that they are putting out there are fake figures. They've been cooked by Efa, Dr. Atu, and then the finance minister. They cook these figures and they are putting it out there. That's number one. Number two, if they go to the IMF, IMF will demand to scrutinize their books and the truth will come out. Number three, you know that when this COVID came, IMF, the World Bank, they went to the Stabilization Fund, the Bank of Ghana, they took all this money. Have they been able to account?
They couldn't have gone to the Stabilization Fund without approval of the Parliament. So your party is as complicit as well.
No. My party is not as complicit because because they use their power. They use, and that will come to that. I am saying that because they know the IMF is going to ask them to account for the 1 billion that the IMF gave them. World Bank gave them, I think, 100 million. Other agencies gave them money. They have to account for all this money because of the evil and wicked and the draconian act that they acted with those money, where they shared it among themselves. They know they will not be able to account for it. That is why they are running away from the IMF. That is why they don't want to go to IMF, and they want to impose killer taxes on the good people of Ghana. I am saying here and there that we are asking Dr. Atu and my good brother Efa, they are members of the communication team. They should go and tell the Jubilee House that we are saying that the jet that is sitting on the tarmac that we are paying £15,000 an hour for it, it should be returned to wherever they got it from.
Right.
The Land Cruiser that they have rented, in which they put the president's chair, he sit in it. 78,000 Land Cruiser that they've bought, that is just for the president's seat, should be placed in it. They should stop doing that, and that Land Cruiser should be used for productive work. Productive work in the sense that they should give it to somebody who will use it to work, that will bring income. That they put in that Land Cruiser that they drive around is not benefiting us in any way. They should cut down on expenses. And when the president is going to inaugurate a toilet, you will see about 50 Land Cruisers following him.
All right, so I do have questions for you on those things. So as much as I want you to make the presentation on them, let me ask, how would you rather have the president travel around? Because I'm sure you are not privy to the intelligence they have as far as whether the president is likely to be harmed by just sitting on any seat at all. So if the health and safety of the president is paramount to all of us, doesn't it make sense that, I mean, for me, it's minor potatoes, right? I think when we do have these conversations, that is something so minor that we shouldn't even be bringing up, because we all care that
president, even the United States president, the president in the United States never moves around with his chair.
But our country is different, right? Our country is different.
It is not different.
We know.
Superstitious belief. It is superstitious belief of the president, think that somebody will be with him. That is why he went for that seat in Benin. If I know he went for that seat in Benin, that is why he puts that seat in his car, drive around it wherever he goes to. I am telling you today that you stop the wasting the system. Mr. Amuzu,
so that's one thing.
About the jet. No, let me finish. About the jet. Please, let's set the record straight over here. We have the 4-car
Falcon
19 or so sitting down, which is airworthy. It is airworthy.
Do you recall that the same conversation happened when we were introducing the VAT? Because at the same time, that was the time we were trying to buy the Falcon or the presidential jets, which Rawlings bought. What was not the one Rawlings bought. We were discussing passing VAT at the same time the country was trying to buy a brand new jet. This time around, we are clear in our mind that the current jet is not sufficient for our president, right? Because he travels.
Who said that?
Right?
And who said that?
I mean, that's what the president.
Let me let the bad part over here. You are comparing oranges and apples this afternoon. Look, Mr. Amuzu, the Falcon that is sitting there, the presidential jet bought by the good people of Ghana that is sitting over there, takes 17 people.
Right.
Okay? Maximum. Okay? 17 people. And the one that the government has gone to rent, it is a lease, not rent, rather. They leased it, which is now sitting on time and take 19 people maximum. The difference is 2.
No, I'm saying trying to buy a bigger one, you know.
Let me state my fast over here.
Okay.
The Falcon that is sitting down there that the president has refused to use, other presidents from other African countries, and I can mention the Liberian president, have used that jet to travel several times. That jet can travel 8 hours non-stop. And the one that they're going to rent also travels 8 hours non-stop. So, if we are talking about the security of the president, it is safer and more secure for our president to fly in the Falcon, which is being piloted by our national security apparatus, as against a jet that they've gone to rent, which is being piloted by the company that which they went and rent a jet for. What if today Mr. A or Mr. B goes to talk to the pilot who's in charge of that plane? That look, I'll give you this amount of X amount of money. When he goes there,
you know that's not gonna happen. Okay. Yeah,
so
great.
For me, nobody should talk about the president's security, the safety. There's nothing like safety, security. The reason why the president decided to use this luxurious jet is because he wants to take shower in the air with Sewa Brony.
Right.
That is in the air. That is why he's renting his jet. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me bring in our professor
please, some corrections, please. Some 2 minutes.
Oh, you
2
want
minutes.
to rebut? Okay, take a quick 2 minutes to rebut.
And then from there, once we have the neutral man, it can be okay for a.
let me paraphrase some of these things for you.
Dr.
As you
Atu is not neutral. Please, nobody should say Dr. Atu is neutral. He is not neutral. Please.
Right. Okay. Let me preface some of the things that I heard from Paul for you as you try to rebut. I know Paul is saying that the proceeds of corruption, or the auditor reports is saying that we lose about 12 billion. Now, your government just put in place an institution called RACE, which is supposed to be an audit arm of the Ghana Revenue Authority, which would be doing a lot of auditing going forward. It is perhaps premature to judge, how much they are able to retrieve from, those audits. But it looks like the institutions are being put in place for sort of investigation and retrieval of some of these corruption-related proceeds. Would you say this is how your government plans to actually bridge the gap? And if so, why wouldn't you beef up that institution so that we can retrieve as much as possible, even if it is 5 billion we retrieve from all our ill-gotten or mismanaged or misappropriated funds, rather than actually going back to the citizens and just piling on them additional taxes?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. You see, anytime we discuss crime, corruption, and stuff like that, and we begin to mention them, we're going to start the conversation and we're not going to have anything. But because he mentioned us as whatever, 12 billion and stuff like that, the whole point is this. Okay, so you see, when you take human being, right, if a population is in the thousands, right, the crime rate and the percentage is different when it is in the millions. It's as simple as that. Disease and whatever, all the statistics changes. Okay, so the Ghana GDP, Ghana's economic strength is not the same as the one he's comparing. Okay, in fact, the 12 billion he's talking about, if they were in power, maybe it would have been a 20 billion or 30 billion or whatever. And that is how you start the conversation, because you want to mention them and them. You see, Paul, Alfred, we have civil servants that have been in the same corrupt place over, some of them have been there 30, 40 years. Okay, they have been there more than the Republic. Okay, and they are civil servants, and they keep doing this thing. We keep repeating it after. There's something fundamentally wrong with our civil service, and if we don't speak to deal with it, and we want to make it is Mahama, it is Nana Akufo-Addo and stuff like that, they will pass and back. We did it to Kufuor, we did it to Rawlings, we did it to Mills. We're doing it to it's a just blame game. And then those who are really doing, you see, look at the people that have been punished. And you see the civil servants who are in there. They are there. You come, they sit you down. Mr. Minister, Mr. Deputy Minister. No, this is this. No, this is the way. We don't mind them. Okay? Do it this way. Do it that way. And that is what we've been through so far. Now, Paul, Alfred, I don't know why Paul's name is coming in my head like that. Alfred, you are an accountant, right?
Yes,
and
I am.
Maybe lifetime legacy. You see, when they say irregularities, when they say misappropriation, when they say this, you cannot equate that to simply corruption. You cannot straight away shift it to corruption. There
Right.
may be corruption in there. There may be something that somebody did there that we need to correct. Okay. So the accounting term that they use in some of these things may not necessarily mean that somebody has spent money. But regardless of what it is, what it means is that that person did not follow procedure. But it doesn't mean money has gone somewhere. Okay. So
misappropriation of assets, corruption, and perhaps misstatement of a report, all those things are part of the white collar crime. Now, the thing is, the one that perhaps you are describing is if there was a misstatement of maybe a report, or there's a financial misstatement, which means somebody may have changed a figure, or did something. But the ones we are seeing in the audit report, majority of them are misappropriation of assets, which means somebody took government funds and applied it to a purpose other than the purpose for which the funds were allocated for. Or there was some sort of corruption. So I want
us to shift from over there, because we've been talking about this for a very long time. You see, and like I said, so what I'm saying is that the Auditor General has been given power to act when on these things. If they don't act, it means we are just using these things for political purposes. And I'm sick and tired of us using the same thing and we don't see results. So Rollins have irregularities. Okay, so who is to be held accountable? Nobody. Then it keeps on year after year, we keep on. Then perhaps maybe we may have to define in the Ghanaian term what irregularities is, what misappropriation is, and what is that, so that we come up with what is punishable and what is not punishable. Because if the person has done something, we want to see you punish the person, take him there. If the person is not, that is why when it comes to the corruption cycle, right, especially the one regarding the former government, the specific ones that is not in court, I don't talk about it. You raise it, I don't want to hear. Take him to court. And then the ones that are in court, we can talk about it, because that is the one that we've gathered evidence to punish them. So case closed on that. Now, Paul, you are here talking about production. You don't remember Commander Sugar Factory? That somebody will go and renovate a factory, 30 million, and then we don't have the raw material and that one is not a border for you. That is fine. You talk about the president using this and this. You see, that is why we start the conversation. You talk about the president using this and this. You are here telling us that MDC built so many health facilities and blah blah blah. University of Ghana Medical, top class work, but the speaker, who is an MDC man, is going to Dubai. He's trooping in Dubai as if he's going to Kofanache from Accra to go and seek medical attention. You are not going to talk about that. Huh? Now, you have to talk about the fact that Mahama, as a former president who want to be president, is paid as if he's a president. Is that on the border for you? Is that not waste of resources? Huh? Now, I said it over and over again that you see, it is good that both political parties have been in power. Okay, certain things we should cut them off and talk about the real thing. I've constantly said that if the issue to do with the flight is not, when you are making the presentation in Parliament, what are the recommendations? It is none. Now, in 2008, during Kufuor's time, right, they criticized him the same, the flying president, that this. Now, when they took over, they started doing the same thing. When we started criticizing them, they said, oh, we criticized Kufuor wrongly. These are the people doing the same criticism this time. And you see, so we cannot go on this. It looks as if we want to play on the intelligence of Ghanaians for political purposes to win their favor and win elections. But the real job is that what is the Ghanaian getting from giving us the trust that we can help them take out their diseases, employ them, and give them these little things that they need. Mahama is enjoying, and you are talking about Akufo-Addo, the one sitting down. What are you talking about? You're talking about G8 and all this kind of stuff. When Mahama travels, he goes as if he's a president.
It was supposed to be a 1 minute rebuttal, but you take it so much.
So let's bring the conversation home. And let us all be objective. We can't keep politicizing everything like that. Paul, we can't go forward. And don't misquote me. I did not quote anybody. I didn't want to do politics with it. I am saying that if you look at the resources that we have as a country, if you look at the loans that we've collected as a country, then we have little to show for. I did not quote anybody, but you wanted to go on.
You didn't quote anybody, but you are talking about your government. You have
All
stated here that
No, I'm not talking against my government. If I am going to talk for my government, I can have a lot of things to mention. Theaters, drones, ambulances, and all that. These are nationalistic in nature.
Right.
What are you to show for? Things that are voted in the country, and you want us to talk about it in that way.
Let's bring the neutral voice, which Paul really disagrees, but for now we'll keep him neutral. Which is Dr. Ato Kwamina Danso's a medical doctor among us. He dabbles in economics as well. I would call him an economist as well, right?
I have a doctor of nurse practice degree.
Doctor of nurse practice degree. So you're a doctor. Don't worry about that. All right. So, Doc, there is a question from all the way from Ketusaft. My people are watching today, and I'm so excited. This one is coming from Matthew. I gotta get this name right. Matthew Nogbe. Matthew is saying that do we give tax or should we tax capital and all our profits? And I guess this is really this goes to the heart of the discussion that we are having today. What am I saying? So Matthew Nogbe, he's from Huraba in the Volta region, which is closer to Aflao. He's saying, should we be taxing capital or should we be taxing profit? And the heart of that, or I'm saying this goes to the heart of the discussion because the monies that we have in the mobile wallets are not necessarily business transactions related. I see the government's kind of, providing some clarification on what should be exempted and what shouldn't be exempted. And one of the things that I, found problematic is they're saying, if the payment is between an agent and his principal, so if, for instance, I am your employer and I'm paying to you, that is exempted. All right. How do you determine that? How do you distinguish between what is capital that is just being moved from your principal to your agent for business transaction from this specific task? Over to you, sir.
So I think you answered the question right there. It's like if you're talking in terms of before that, my greetings to Lifetime, Paul, and it appears every time I see them, they're looking fresh and fresh. I don't know if they're getting kicked from the government.
It's the Ghana agenda glow. The Ghana agenda glow.
I saw it over the Christmas period. It's not looking as fresh as Lifetime and Paul. Or even as you, Alfred. I don't know if you're getting kickbacks from the LBP government or something like that. But apologies for being late.
No problem, sir.
Like you said, there's no way you can differentiate between what is capital and what is the profits. And like I said last week, I don't know how this government did not come up with a plan B. I guess the plan B was, okay, let's cut down Paul and give it to Peter, in the terms of, okay, let's cancel the toll levy, and then come up with this idea. Maybe Ghanaians would accept that. But then again, Paul, Amuzu, do you know of any tax in Ghana that Ghanaians have really accepted? There's none. So that argument from my friend Paul and Lifetime, I know he's done all this propaganda already.
Yeah, but the fact that, Ghanaians usually would object to taxes doesn't mean that all their objections really doesn't make sense. Because this particular one, I mean, there are natural ways to charge taxes or to kind of actually, go after taxing your citizens. But
it includes more tax. There are ways. There are ways to tax people. It includes more tax. I'm not in fully support of mobile tax, but I'm saying that there are ways to tax people. Remember VAT?
Yeah, VAT is a natural tax, right? It's taxing the value that has been added.
I know, but I'm saying that but people oppose tax. People oppose VAT. That we even had Kumipreku.
Right.
And government came and they even increased the so I understand that you're talking about taxing profits, taxing capital. It makes complete sense that why would you tax my capital? This is the right money. But then how if you talk in terms of Momo, how are you supposed to know? Give me 1 second, please. If you can I have a little situation over here.
No problem. So let's go to Lifetime Legacy. Lifetime Legacy, You heard all the
continue for him.
Oh, Lifetime Legacy has been quiet for a while, so let's bring him in. I know you.
That's my Kotoko supporter.
There you go. Perhaps Manchester United too. All right, Lifetime Legacy.
Anyway,
you've heard all the arguments made that we don't need to increase our revenue. No matter how you look at it, we are in trouble as a country. You can point fingers to whoever. You can say this government spent itself to the ditch, and now they are in the ditch. They are trying to put more burden on the citizens. This should make the case for the NDC easy. So why are we arguing with them? If the government wants to annoy the citizens, which would then benefit the NDC in 2024, why is the NDC complaining? Let them fail, well, so that you can benefit. Shouldn't that be your
I'll answer that question, but I have a few rebuttals to make.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, during my brother Efa's submission, he did admit that Nanado have mismanaged the economy.
Mm-hmm.
That should be on record. It's an honest admission, which for today I will applaud him for the first time being sincere. He also did mention that NDC renovated Commander Sugar Factory. I want to put it on record that the Commander Sugar Factory was not renovation. It was a project right from scratch. I am privy to the site because I was also doing the same installation as installation was being done in the Commander. I was also doing the same installation in a alumina fish processing plant. I was part of the engineers who did the installation. So the project was going on, the two projects were going on at the same time.
Currently.
So I want to set the record straight that it was a project right from scratch. It was not a renovated project. No, Alfred.
Yeah.
You see, when you look at the way NDC is handling this E-levy thing, if it had been NPP in opposition, they would have done worse. By now, hell would have broken loose. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that NDC is gentle and we are taking things normal does not mean that because we stand to benefit in the future, that is why we are acting the way we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
The record is that we are sensitive. We are sensitive towards Ghanaians.
Okay.
You get it? So there is no way we will behave recklessly like the NPP is doing. And don't forget the ideology of our party. We are people-centered party. You get it? So there's no way policies...
Do you think your opposition to this tax is because of your sensitivity to the plight of the Ghanaian?
Absolutely.
And that you yourself, you are Ghanaian, that it impacts you as well. So
absolutely,
in one way or the other, you are fighting for your own self.
We are opposing this because of what we believe in and what we stand for.
Okay.
And we are always having the interest of the masses at heart. Now, he also did mention that a few things. For instance, let me listening to Samson Ladia this morning. Mismanagement, misappropriation. He is a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. He said it is just a way to polish it to look good. The actual word is theft. So my brother,
theft, pretty much.
Yeah, my brother Efa should not come and engineer a new name.
But you see,
for the stealing.
Misappropriation is a little more than theft, by the way. Because if you reduce it to theft, you are minimizing it because theft is really, in the United States, we call it larceny, which means you are taking possession of something that doesn't belong to you, right? But there is another one which is where the thing is placed in your care and you misuse it. That is not larceny. I don't know if you understand the difference. The difference is, say you go to a store right now and you pick a shirt and you bolt it out. That's larceny. All right.
So,
but the misappropriation. So let's not just reduce it to theft per se. It's a little
so
more
my brother Efa should not come and re-engineer a new name for their mismanagement, their stealing, the daylight robbery that his party is engaging in. We don't want a new name for it. We are okay with what they have done. And he's also saying that Nanado hates corruption. It is not true. The evidence is very clear. If Nanado hates corruption and intend to set institutions to fight corruption, he wouldn't have fired Domelevo. If Nanado indeed want to fight corruption, Domelevo would be the right person Nanado should have maintained in office. So firing that man alone,
the Domelevo is just one person, or there's a whole office of the accountants, whatever general or whatever.
Special prosecutor.
No, I'm saying that there is the audit session, the accountant general, or the what do they call them? The auditing activity. So it's the whole institution that is managed by Domelevo. So firing Domelevo alone is not a.
Yeah, I agree with you, but you and I will also agree that the kind of energy and enthusiasm, okay, Domelevo brought to against the fight against corruption. We have never seen such a move under the Fourth Republic.
But since Domelevo was fired, right? Didn't we have an audit report in 2020 that was even more dire?
I agree with you.
By some, not Domelevo.
I agree with you.
Is trying to say that minimizing the firing of Domelevo or as a sign of not having a commitment to fight corruption, that is not true.
That is not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that even the person who is bringing the 12 billion theft is a member of the MPP. If the Domelevo is in office, the figure we are having now will probably be 2 or 3 times.
That is
the argument.
It's speculative, right? That's very speculative.
I'm not being speculative. We all know very well the person in office, how he ascended to that position. You got it. The man could not do anything about the figure.
You are speculating right now. You are saying that had it been Domelevo, the findings from the audit would have been more
damning than what
you have a basis for that. What is your basis? What facts do you have?
Okay, my basis for saying that is that we all saw in our election year, where if you say Kukrudu, then they'll say, give me your Momo number.
5,000.
you get it. Give me your Momo number. When you say AC, then they say, give me your Momo number. That was the kind of thing that was happening in 2008.
Don't you wish the E-levy was there by then?
You get it. You get it. So the damning could have been worse than what we experienced. Right. And I don't want to talk much about it. My brother Efa have make it very simple that it's taking so much, but they have nothing to show. That alone, it's an honest admission. I know my brother Efa is doing this admission because he's not in favor of what they call it, the vice president. He's Alan Boyd. You get it. So he's doing this like an MVP man.
Again, I think
recently said that he never promised Yetisikasu. So we should go and ask the person who said Yetisikasu. Exactly the same thing my brother Efa is doing. And I can agree and understand him that sometimes it is difficult to defend indefensible.
Right.
Now coming back to your question,
one more minute.
The nation is broke.
1 minute, please.
Yeah, the nation is broke. Why can't we allow this E-levy thing to pass so that we can correct some of the anomalies as far as the financial system is concerned?
Right.
We cannot do it because the party MPP had the opportunity of avoiding us being here where we are today. You get it? And as the accounts will say, so to it, if you don't have anything to give to your mother-in-law, the little your mother-in-law is having in his bedroom, you don't steal it. You get it? So that is exactly what a Kufuor government is doing. And we being the people sensitive, we are not going to allow them to steal the little their mother-in-law or their father-in-law is having from the people.
All right. Thank you for that submission. Really appreciate the wise sayings in there. The little your mother-in-law have. It's not subject to stuff, you know. Okay, great.
Alfred has been implicated over here. Let him defend himself.
Yes. So,
is that true?
Yes. Yes. They said you are Alan boy. I've not. No reason to believe that.
No.
But,
Okay.
you have the floor. Please defend yourself.
I am not any.
So let's ask the question right. Do you have any preference between Alan Shramante and Akufo? What do you call it? Baumia?
Yes. If I'm given the opportunity to vote, there is somebody one of them that I'll vote for. I believe one of them.
Can agenda be one of the luckiest places that you would disclose this information? And if you would do it, would this be a good time for you to do that?
No. Come on. Me, with all my experiences, what I've seen, how people will roast you tomorrow. Executive.
Let me say something. Sorry, let me.
No, I mean, you are a bold politician, and
you know,
always
let legacy talk.
You know what?
Yeah.
You always have to sacrifice the lesser evil for the bigger one.
Right.
Where we've gotten now, Nanado and Baumia have become unattractive to the voters. And my brother, a father that I know politically, and reading from his statement, will not like to associate himself to something that he won't be able to defend.
But what has Alan done to be attractive?
Okay. Alan, my brother Ifa will find it very easy to defend Alan that he will defend Baumia. Let me give you a practical example. My brother Ifa cannot go and defend, taxing the E-levy, it's a taxing of the poor. My brother Ifa cannot defend this. You get it? Borrowing is a lazy man approach. There's no way my brother Ifa will be able to defend this. So he will go to where there's where there is nothing, no crime to defend. You get it? And as a political animal who have been doing this from 1996, I have seen that thing in my brother Ifa. My brother Ifa belongs to the Alan camp.
All right, so that's your prediction.
Thank you very much for giving me a camp, but I'm going to say it here and now. I don't belong to any camp. Okay, but I have a preference.
Okay, great. Let me.
Because the rules does not allow me to do that. But having said that, I want to say three things about what Live Legacy said, if you permit me.
Sure.
Okay. So I want to make some corrections. The taxation, the E-levy, right? It is not on the money in your wallet. It is not. Okay. You can create the wallet. Okay.
Yeah, when it's moving.
Yeah, you can create the wallet. It is. So once you create the wallet, you have a platform. Somebody has given you something for you to be in your room. No one cares. You have the money in your pocket, in your bank. Nobody cares. Okay. It is when you are creating that convenience of I don't want to wait. When I went to Ghana, I didn't want to wait. You know, at the water seller, they said too much to go and pay. You just check it, pay. There is somebody sitting somewhere. You tell them and then pay. So it is on transactions and not the money in the wallet. No.
Right. When the money moves.
If you create the wallet and you don't put anything in there, nobody is going to come in there. Or even if you have money in there and you don't move it, nobody is going to come in there and tax it.
Yeah, but we are saying when the money moves into the wallet is taxed. When it's moved,
somebody has given you that convenience. Somebody has created that convenience for you to be moving that moment, right? Before, if you were to give money to somebody, if you are staying in, I am a deaf tracker, right? Community 25, Tema. If I want to go and give money to somebody at Latabia Kwashi, I have to take the truck, kocha, and go there.
Right.
Electronic transactions are taxable everywhere. You pay for it.
No. Let me ask you if these things have been introduced.
Let me finish before you come in. Yesterday I renewed my car. I did my registration. I had to renew it. My birthday is on the 1st. So normally it's on your birthday or the end of your month, right? So my car registration is due Monday. I went to do it yesterday. When I went there, to pay cash at the Illinois Registration Center. You can go and verify it. And if anybody in Illinois has registered his vehicle and is telling me I'm lying, let me go and then we're going to do transaction. When they finish, cash is less.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing.
It's less. If you are paying with electronic transaction or any of them, it is $5 or $7 more. Yes.
That is because the credit card processors, even for instance, I use QuickBooks to charge my clients. Like if I do accounting for people, each time I charge you, let's say if it's $100 for maybe tax return that I prepare for you. By the time the 100,000 hits my accounts, the credit card processor takes at least 2.5% out of that. So if you want to pay me with your credit card, I would build that 2% into it. I'll tell you, listen, if you're going to pay me with the card, because the card processor is charging me 2%, I would also take that 2% in addition. But what we are saying is that, for instance, the mobile wallets has been something that was developed in the advanced countries, right? Which of the advanced countries do you know that has a tax? When we are saying tax, I'm talking about a government imposed tax, whether federal or state. Where have we seen this? Any?
Okay. No, so it was developed out there, right? Now in Ghana, we've made it more convenient. You know, before you couldn't move across. No, hold on. You couldn't move across networks, right?
Right.
Stability. That's somebody. You see, I don't want to mention them today. Somebody wanted to do it.
Simple question has been put to Ifa. He can't answer it.
Oh, no. Okay, let me answer it the way I understand it. You, when I'm done, say I didn't answer. I like it, but let me answer. Somebody wanted to do it for $1.2 billion. Somebody came to do it for $4.5 million, right? So somebody has added more features to it. Okay, so that convenience has been created. In any way, it is just a matter of time that Momo in America or whatever will be charged. So if Momo or electronic transaction is not being charged by the government here, right? In Ghana, we are saying that the telcos are already taking their 1%. Is that not the case?
That's the case.
They are ready to reduce it by 0.2%, 0.25%, right? Government want a chunk of it or a little bit of it for development, for our own development, for something that we are crying about and we say no. Okay, that is for another time to.
Let's recall it.
No, 1 second.
Yeah.
No, it is important. You see, I like the way you took a lifetime legacy on glorifying one man, like, oh, Nanado has come, so that is our savior. Okay, so when he's dead, then our savior is gone, and now we're back to the old ways. No, it is like right now everything is dampare in the security services, right?
Yeah, there's the whole police outfit. So dampare is
the whole police outfit is dampare. Why do we do these things to ourselves? At the point in time, it was all running. Junior Jesus, JJ was time. Junior Jesus, he's gone. What do we have? When he was leaving, what was he saying?
I think this was the advice Obama actually gave us when he visited, right?
It is important.
Build strong institutions.
No. It is important to build institutions. And
but
I am
it
happy.
takes one person to make a difference.
Hold on. No. That, you see, I am happy that when Dom Levro was there, he said that in the lifetime of the audit service, if we are talking about somebody that has given them resources to work, it is Nanado. And you don't want to mention that. Okay?
Except that Nanado doesn't want him to use the resources.
Somebody who is giving you everything to work, resources to work. And then your time is up and they say, go and let somebody come. You say, I won't go.
Right.
Man, you can't say that.
That's a discussion for another day.
Factory was built from the scratch.
If I know how politicians can be so diabolic, if it doesn't give resources to the man, they will complain.
Right.
Okay. It is the same thing.
I want us to progress the conversation.
It is the same thing they did to NCCA. They gave them car and then went back for the car. Is it not the same thing?
Yeah, lifetime. Let's progress the conversation. Let me bring in Paul if FI is done. Paul, we heard that the government intends to, cut down expenditure by 20% as a way of cushioning, people are accusing the government of living extravagant, like spending too unnecessarily. You intend to spend 137 billion, increasing our, fiscal deficit, etc. And the government says, you know what? We are willing to cut down that expenses by 20%. But people are saying that is a game because you don't have 20% in our budget to reduce.
You see, Mr.
Right? You don't have 20% laying there in our budget for you to cut. If you're saying you're going to cut 20%, in other words, what are you cutting? Are you going to say you're not paying pensioners? Are you going to start paying all your statutory expenditures? Because between paying your interest and taking care of all your statutory payments, for instance, salaries, you are already 90% of your revenue. So where would you find a 20% to cut? And so is it just one of those dust that, like you always describe, that the finance minister is throwing in our eye, or this is genuine?
Mr. Muzo, this is once again another dust thrown into our eyes once again. This 20% quarterly cut on the revenue generated vis-a-vis expenses is just a fake and imagination of the finance minister's fake imaginations. The reason why I'm saying so is that, number one, I've stated over here that the Office of Government Machinery has been increased with 67% funding for the 2022 budget year. Why won't he go there and reduce those fundings over there?
Yeah, but that's minimum, right? I mean, how much?
Hold on.
You cut anything at all, you may be 1 million or something. Yeah.
Number two, the jet that is sitting on the tarmac, we are paying £15,000 an hour. They should return it. That's a form of cutting. Number three, I am telling you that a Land Cruiser over here, when you check Land Cruiser 2020 model 2021, it's going around $78,000 to $80,000. That they've bought one, dedicated it for the president's seat. They should stop and give that car, or they should sell that car back. They can get $80,000.
Let me ask you, all the things you're suggesting they should cut, if you add them all up, how much would that come to?
Mr. Muzo, it will come to a lot. There's a saying that goes that, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean.
Right.
I am telling you that the finance minister is making this statement just because he wants to get the sympathy of Ghanaian, trying to create the impression as if, they are very sensitive, but they are not sensitive one bit. They are not a sensitive government. They will keep on spending, living like Arabian king, the president living like Arabian king, flying with Sewa Bruni in the air, taking shower in the air with Sewa Bruni, and they've not, none of them have condemned this act. Not even my brother Ifa. We are saying that there's a lot of waste in the system. They should focus or channel their attention to the waste. Now, the economic messiah that the president stated that they've given the whole world wisdom to him. He's running away from the economy that we know him of, and now he's not called the Mr. Digital Man, digitization man. Okay, we thank God that he has run away from the economy that he was boasting of. Now he wants to be an IT person or a digitization man. We are also urging that they can use the digital platform to block a lot of this revenue misappropriation holes. If we introduce digitization, electronic transaction, electronic payment in most of the agencies, we can cut down the revenue misappropriation. Example, like they closed down the toll road because they say they are making about 70 million a year. And that there's a lot of revenue leakage over there. Why won't you rather have introduced digitization by whereby people have to get a stretch card or a easy card put in their car as they go, the system, they design the gate, it's open for them, they pass, and then you get your money back. So you see, what the finance minister is saying that he's going to cut down budget by 20% if they don't meet the revenue targeted for every quarter is a lie. He's just trying to do this thing to buy the sympathy of the good people of Ghana to approve the E-levy.
Right.
And I can tell you, as Legacy said on the show earlier on, if this E-levy is approved with their numbers, the 138 number, they will go and mortgage it. to be able to get the opportunity to take more loans out there. And I am saying over here that we in the opposition, it's not that we are saying that taxes are not good.
Right.
But this e-levy that they are trying to introduce is the laziest man approach. They should go back, do their homework well, consultation, get back to the drawing board. Let's look at it. There are a lot of avenues by which they can tax or get people to pay fair taxes. As we speak, the figure out there is that about 12% of the population is only paying taxes. How are you going to do to expand the tax net so that capture the remaining 88% people who are not paying taxes?
And that's what they're telling you. They're trying to use e-levy for that.
No, this is the lazy man's approach because they know that electronic services last year generated over 99 billion Ghana cedi. So they want to find the easiest way to tax the good people of Ghana, and that's not going to work. Right. We are saying that they should bring people like Ifa on board, who is an experienced person. They should listen to them, they should advise them, and they should do the right thing. I am saying that the finance minister is just throwing dust into our eyes once again by the impression that he's going to cut down revenue as against expenditure, blah, blah. It's just, gimmick to get people or to get the good people of Ghana to support them to pass the e-levy.
So let me then put the question to you. So it is your position that we drop the e-levy, or you would accept the 0.5% or some variation of it? What is your position on that?
Mr. Amuzo, they've not been able to make a good case the reason why these taxes need to be imposed on electronic services.
Right.
Until they make a good case and present a good case to the good people of Ghana, I don't see the reason why the good people of Ghana should accept to pay these taxes.
Don't forget, can he help us with a good case? Can he help us with a good case?
The good case is this. You don't even do top-down approach. You rather do the bottom-down approach. Even though they have no solid case, their case is as weak as it is. They did a top-down approach instead of bottom-down approach.
What does that mean?
Top-down approach means they sat down in cabinet and took a decision and they want to impose it on God. That's how to go about it.
Yeah, but now they are going to do the consultations.
It's too late. It is too late. And then the consultation, whatever they are doing, is too late. It's too late because...
But Paul, you are dodging my question. What would you have done originally? Let's say the e-levy wasn't there. You wanted to introduce it. What would you have said to make Ghanaians to accept it?
I am telling you over here that I am not going to give you or think for you. You guys claim you have the men. So think for yourself.
You sound like, what do you call it? Ankuma. It's Ankuma. I'm working like a boo. I don't have to advise.
Yeah, those people are out there. You see those hypocrites. All those hypocrites, they've kept quiet. They cannot even talk.
It's not my job to tell the government what to do. The government got to fix it. If they can't fix it, anyway.
I am saying, if my brother Ifa and his government are lack of ideas, they run out of ideas, they should call a stakeholders meeting and we'll tell them what to do. I'm not going to sit here and tell them what to do. If I go and sell it to them, they have to pay for it. They should come for consultation.
You are opposing this because you care about the people, your sensitivity to the plight of the Ghanaians is why you're opposing. So shouldn't that same sensitivity inform your
Mr. Amuzu, I'm giving you a lot of reasons. I'm giving a lot of reasons that they can do to reduce the expenditure.
You can just come and
generate more taxes.
Give them any ideas.
I've given you a lot of reasons they can reduce expenditure and they can generate more taxes. Look, Mr. Amuzu.
Right.
There are some commodities that they can look into the market and then look at it and then target those commodities and put taxes on them. But I am saying the most important thing is that they should cut down on the revenue. Expenditure is too high. The presidential jet is unnecessary. The V8 that they have a seat for the president sitting in it, traveling all over, is waste.
I disagree with that one. Let the president enjoy this.
Going to commission a toilet with 50 V8 following the president is a waste. Okay? Going to increase their salary by 70%. The executive increase their salary by 70% is a waste. They should bring it down to 10%. That money should be channeled into the economy. and they will find a lot of space, a lot of breathing space if they cut down on these expenses. Mr. Muzu, I am telling you, I am using a Land Cruiser and I know the amount. I am telling you that they are paying $78,000 for just a seat. The seat I'm sitting on, one of these seats I'm sitting on. If this seat, to just sit in the Land Cruiser,
you doesn't have the golden crest on it.
With a police guard and a driver, it's a waste of resources. Mr. Ifa should tell them that we are pleading on them, we are begging them, Ghanaians are begging them, they should stop this waste. And if they stop the waste, they will have a lot of money that they can use to do things that they want to do with. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me go off the limb to say that even though the president has had a lot of resources available to him, I think Nana Akufo-Addo happens to be one of the unlucky presidents in our country. Why? It's his presidency that saw a second term where the parliament is so divided that he couldn't pass anything through, or it becomes difficult. Imagine that if E-levy was proposed and his first term, this would have been a smooth slate. No president ever before Nana Addo had to deal with these challenges, right?
He's not dealing with the challenge.
And also, let me say
lifetime, take it easy. Let
me finish. Let me also say that, you see, presidency is not an easy thing, right? So the small perks, like the seats the president sits on when he's traveling, should not be political football for us to be bouncing around. If the president wants to sit on a comfortable seat of his choosing, put in the car to follow him, that's fine. Let him enjoy that little perk. This man can have a sound sleep at night. He's thinking, working on our behalf. Here is countries like Mali, our neighbors to the north, on fire, and he has to deal with that.
Nobody asked him to be a president. Nobody asked him to steal the election.
Yeah, but still,
he stole the election, and the consequences, he's facing it. So let him face it.
I'm saying that we cannot. While he's going through all those challenges, it's just sad that we would even criticize him for not just something as simple as the seats.
God bless you, Alfred. God bless you, Alfred.
So that he can actually be safe, healthy, and continue to execute his function as a president. I think we reduce our politics.
I disagree with you. If the president knows, you see, recently when Bagbe was traveling to Dubai,
right? You are moving with it. If you carry a
was recently traveling to medical checkup, do you know what the MVP was telling him? If he knew he's not fit to do the job, he should step aside as a speaker so that we get somebody who's healthy. If Manado knows that, he's not safe, or he's not.
But you can't equate the speaker to the president. You can't equate the speaker and the president.
Let me ask this into Lifetime Legacy. Do you agree with that criticism of the Speaker of Parliament? Do you, Lifetime Legacy, agree with that criticism?
No.
You don't. So how would you agree with the criticism that the president?
He who called for equity should come with a clean hand.
So you should come with a clean hand.
No, he did first make this statement.
All right.
And then we are also challenging them to come with a clean hand.
Okay. So
yeah,
can I put my thing on there?
Yeah, I want you to talk about a 20% reduction, and if it's a gimmick, as the last thing we will talk about, I would also take lifetime.
The what reduction? What reduction?
So the Minister of Finance is promising that he's going to do a 20% reduction in expenditure quarter by quarter, as a way to signal to the financial markets that is consolidating. Of course, we know he has to consolidate, but he came out with a bloated budget, which was going to put 37 extra billion on our fiscal deficit.
Alfred, that was even increased to 40-something%. 47 billion. You know that, right? Or you don't know? The appropriation bill went up to 47.
So that's what I'm saying. So then he coming to say that.
So you see,
he's going to
the whole thing from the opposition don't make no sense. Okay, and you see, I don't want to make certain statements here that I'm privy to, because then it will be interpreted in a certain way.
Please tell us. We want to hear.
No. Some of it is too private. I can't make it. But you see, if we don't pass this E-levy, you see, it's gonna affect two key areas. Okay. Two key areas: employment and infrastructure.
Right.
And it is not that we are not going to do infrastructure, but you see, we are so short on infrastructure is that, we scramble, and no, you are mute.
The E-levy is not earmarked towards infrastructure, so maybe you should stop saying that. The E-levy was earmarked towards employment, and we are saying that even on that employment, a letter came out that I read recently.
It's not only employment. It's not only
entrepreneurship and employment, and then cybersecurity. They actually listed them in the bill.
No, it's three areas. A little bit will go into infrastructure. It's three areas. We gotta read it well. Okay. So you see, when the whole thing is, when we are speaking, right? It is not that the E-levy is coming to take over all infrastructure in the country. No. Or all employment in the country. No. We gotta get these things. If we say E-levy is going to help with employment, right? What we are saying is that a chunk of it is going into, like, people starting their own businesses, and the target is 1 million annually. Okay, so it is not like in the country that is all that employment is about. That's why I'm saying if we categorize this E-levy to being taken care, we are talking about 6 billion here, and we are talking about, if we talk about the distance, so we can't say that is the one that is coming to take over from everything. I mean, let us appreciate the little pieces when we do the explanation. Other than that, we will go back.
But I was just pointing to what it was earmarked for. So go ahead.
Okay. So that's not. So that is fine. Now, Alfred. No, Paul. I don't know why I'm Paul. You said executives increase their salary, right? You know, Mahama is in there. Mahama is in there.
I don't care. They should really by 10%. I don't care.
These are constitutional stuff. These are constitutional issues.
Who increased it? Okay. Nanada and the wife. Nanada and the wife increased it.
Okay, so Paul. Okay, who increased it? When the spousal salary came, right? Leodina and the vice president.
We are reducing this conversation again. What we should tackle is the 20% decrease.
These things just mess up the conversation, and we should focus on the ones that that taxes.
You see how if I is struggling today. You see the way he's struggling. He will come and make it out of mouth.
Stop heckling him. Let him finish his points.
You see, today I'm even making it easy for you, and then you say I'm struggling. Then I come out and I'm very political. Then you say I'm doing propaganda. You say both of them have not used propaganda today.
Yeah, today I've actually gave you a lot of talking points, so maybe you should just treat me well.
Have you seen that two of them have not even used the word propaganda? Because I'm refusing to mention names. I want us to move forward because politicians are playing all of us. We are playing the people of Ghana.
I'm not part of it. Then this is not part of it. This is not part of it.
You are part of it. That's why I to Minister for Communication. He will come up with a scratch card. You see, Paul will come up with a scratch card tax. When you scratch your card to put credit on your phone, you have to pay tax on it.
Yeah, I thought we gotta go. Let's wrap up.
Okay. So in wrapping up, what I want to say is that you see, when Paul is criticizing all that you are talking about, that the executive is enjoying, Mahama is enjoying, the speaker is enjoying. In fact, as for Mahama, I don't even have a problem. I had wanted the speaker to say, University of Ghana Medical Center, Kolebu, take care of my health. I want to use it as an example to prove to Ghanaians that we have the people here if the government will not do it. But what have we seen? Trooping into a year like that. And then you skip it.
The vice president, when he was sick, he went to London. So
Who?
Vice President Baumia.
He was sick, he went to London. In government. Okay, you see now. Paul is criticizing that, right? And I am also criticizing his part.
Right.
It's the Speaker of Parliament and NGC man.
I mean, we know the state of our healthcare system, right?
The Speaker should prove to us that Mahama really built a health infrastructure and that his health can be taken care of in Ghana.
Yeah, that one is shameful. It's shameful that we still send our people.
And that is how we got paid by politicians, and that is what I'm trying to hammer home today, and we are not getting. Okay. Having said
even though we all knew back then, I've told the nation he's going to cater for his health. You see, this MVP is playing game with Ghanaians, and the only way we can also succeed in playing game is what we are doing.
So you think
this is here? You
think so? Are you saying Bagby is playing games?
Oh, I haven't said so. But if that is the understanding you got,
we hope our politicians don't play games with us, and I don't think any of us here would approve of that. If Bagby is sick, he should go take care of himself. If he's not sick, he should sit in Parliament and do his job.
Alfred, we are opposed to the E-levy. If Bagby don't travel, did not travel, and he sits in the chair, how are we going to get the E-levy pass?
Well, Bagby will not be sick every day, right? So, one of these days, E-levy will pass. Is that what you're saying? Anyway, let me ask, Efa, are you done with your submission so we can move on?
I mean, virtual, but what I want to say is that sometimes we can do politics, but another times we gotta switch a little bit. Today, I'm trying not to do politics, but my friends are telling me that no, it doesn't help. So next week when I come, next week I have time, I'm gonna be here.
I think you've done well. You've done well.
Next week I'm gonna come with the punches. And Paul, be ready for that.
Right. I'm sure the listeners and viewers appreciate
next week. Unfortunately, I might not be here because I have to travel. The trip I was supposed to go this week.
I can take care of the financial implications.
Dr. Lawrence in as your support.
No, I need everybody to be here.
If I've been sweating the whole day.
Okay, let's get Lifetime Legacy on the 20% reduction, and Lifetime Legacy end on that with your last words so we can move around the table and close the program.
Thank you, Alfred. I think the so-called 20% reduction, for me, if the government want to be genuine, okay, we are told about 3.5 billion is what the presidency need.
Right.
If they sincerely want to demonstrate that they genuinely want to cut the expenses or cut the budget, that is where we expect them to demonstrate for us to see. Okay, if they are able to cut at least 50% of what is going to the presidency, we can support them, or we can say that okay, they mean well. But to come out and say that we have cut, they don't have. So what are they cutting? Do you give something you don't have? You get it. So they should come clean. The dishonesty and lie from their part is becoming too much of them.
Which percentage of E-levy would you personally be comfortable with?
I won't be comfortable with any amount.
Okay.
Because I am saying this sincerely because to whom much is given, much is expected.
Right.
You get it. If Mahama got half of what these people had, Ghana would have been a paradise by now.
Right.
So, like I said earlier in my submission, you've been given a whole elephant. If that is not enough for you, what would elephant do?
Mahama promised he was going to build Hope City, and we didn't see anything. So, be careful with that. Anyway,
get it. And then also to end up in my submission, the 6.9 billion the MPP want, it has now become their solution for
everything.
If you say you don't have fertilizer, then they'll say, oh, when we pass the E-levy, you get fertilizer. When you say, oh, light is going off, you say, oh, when we pass the E-levy, the light will come on.
Your last words, Lifetime Legacy. Let's go.
I think the deceit is becoming too much of them. They should tell the Ghanaians the truth. That we all know what the economy, the situation is, and they are trying to hide under. They should come clean. That is what Ghanaians deserve. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so let's go to Paul Disosu for your last word. So, matter of fact, since Lifetime Legacy, let's bring in Efa in between, and then Paul, you will come last. So, Efa, let's find with you between the two NDC guys. What are your last words for the discussion we had today? I know you've been really nice with us today. You let down a little bit of the political clothing and showed your Ghanaianness, and you spoke true, or you spoke true to power, or true to the fact. You say things that I wasn't expecting you to say. It's been a great discussion as far as I'm concerned. What is your assessment? What are some of the last words you want to leave to the listeners and the viewers? As far as, what are you comfortable with the 1.75%? Do you think it should be reduced a little bit? Do you think it should be scrapped and go back to the drawing table and think of how we would restructure a tax system that is equitable and that would address all our problems, or at least our revenue generation problems? Thank you, Efa.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alfred. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here. And when we come on this platform, right, I must be honest, on the NDC side, the number one person I'm comfortable with debating is Paul. Second will be Lifetime Legacy, and then the others will follow. So if we can always have these two teams for me debating, we've had discussion behind the scene. I don't want to bring it up. That's always good. Even though sometimes they go too political. I want to go there. I don't really want to go there because I like them so much. I want to remain some form of a neutral, even though I'm a political guy. That is fine. But it's always a pleasure debating Paul and then Lifetime. I think today, if I really assess Lifetime, I think with time, if the finance minister can give them a call, I think we will have some great discussion. I
think Lifetime showed his fingers
to the big guys to activate some of these. Hey, can Oforiata talking to me? Yeah, minister, what do you want me to do? And then
I think Lifetime Legacy showed his hand. He says that there's a percentage there he can be comfortable with. It's just that
exactly. But the honest truth is that, you see, so NDC, I honestly believe is being political. This is a political space, and this is the time for them to also win some political distance, so they will take it. They believe that, some form of taxes is necessary. No matter how we coin it, they're going to find a way around it and then get it kicked before this for politics. We would have done same or maybe worse, just as Lifetime Legacy said. So that is on their part, and I can't convince them to change. Consistently on E-levy, I've tried to be as non-political and as ephemeral as I can. I can't kakape too much, but because the kakape is that political thing, I can't do that. So when we bring it on board, it's like you've killed me, so I have to mellow. So that is what, on my part, I think that we really need this revenue. Okay, it is not the revenue that is going to be the game changer, but it's going to do something. Okay, all the things that we're talking about, the corruption, it is going to affect this one. We really need to talk about the way corruption has permeated almost every aspect of our economy. And when we I normally don't want to go from independence. I want to go the Fourth Republic, and it has permeated every single one of them. If somebody is here that has had the opportunity of being in government, you couldn't fix it. And you sit here and say someone should fix it. What you couldn't fix, how is someone else going to fix it? But yes, it's a good call because we are in government right now. And I always insist and call on my government, say, fix that challenge. Fix the ghost names. Fix the infrastructions. Fix the misappropriations. Fix all those stuff. Okay? Because if those things have been fixed, maybe the Ghanaians would have said, say, oh, what we gave you, you've been able to do blah, blah, blah with this, so let us give you more. So there's a good call for that. And if I sit here and I say that the Ghanaians and everybody who is opposing, apart from the political twist, don't have a case, I will be a liar. Okay? At a point in time, we have to be Ghanaian. So we speak to the authorities to do that. And I hope and pray that we're going to see these things over the years, even though I have my doubts, because it's been consistent and it's been over the years. Let the Auditor General's report come. If we don't see it in there, then they are being fixed. Two people are the cause of problems in the country. No, in fact, I'll make it three. It is the supervisor, it is the accountant, and it is the lawyer. You see, these three people, the one supervising, the one who is going to do the accounting, and then the one who is doing the prosecution, they are the ones who have allowed corruption, misappropriation, whatever, say other words, to become an order of the day that we're having a challenge with. What is 1.75? What is 1.75? Honestly speaking, Paul, if we speak one-on-one, say okay. But you see, as a government, they look at the government, they see the consistency. No, I'm not going to pay. And they have a reason. So for somehow, it is up to the government to assuage these beliefs coming from the people. And how we do it will help us or whatever. But I'm waiting for it to be brought to the floor of the House. We like it, we don't like it, then we move on. You see, I am the guy who believes that I'm hungry. Give me the food or you don't give me the food. Then I'll go find my food. I like the honesty. And then we move on. Other than we try to play and then have some words to, for how long? Okay? We cannot, then we go. Having summed up all this, Paul, I need you to know that we can come here and play our MPP NDC, but it's Ghana. Okay, so let's do Ghana. Lifetime legacy. You know, I like you so much. We can come here and play our politics. But sometimes let us put the political clothes down and then do Ghana.
I have a comment for you in the comment section.
Alfred, this is a show. This is a show that, you know, I had certain things to do, but I had to come because I know you're doing a great job and we have to make it a success. Okay? Sometimes I'm not able to come. But if I'm not able to come,
when you think Paul is going to hammer you, that's when you dodge, right?
Oh, no. Oh, no. I know.
I'm just kidding.
Paul will hammer me and take me to the hospital and get me well and bring me home. I know. That I know. Right. So let him hammer me. I can't speak for Lifetime Legacy, but I can speak for Paul. He will hammer me and bring me back. When we speak behind the scene, that's what he does. Right. Paul, you know, this is the but you know, then we come to the compromise and then we depart. So having said that, let us make sure this show becomes one of the best, or if not the best out there. Okay, we have our infractions. We may come here and make whatever. When we are wrong, we're wrong. When we get it right, we get it right. And to the listeners, we want to say that share the feed. Get your friends and family to come on. Okay, we may not be the best out there, but at least we come here, spend our time, and give you what you want to hear, and then you bring it back. You know, you punch us, and then we take it out from there. We love you, we appreciate you, and we say that always come and make Alfred the best out there, and nothing else but the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Afa. All right, Paul. So, you know, everybody listening, these guys, they are actually buddies behind the scene. They don't fight at all. But when it comes to the political discussions, of course, they disagree. Of course, because they belong to different parties. But again, some of the conversations I've been privy to, they think of Ghana first. So let's take Paul and his observations and some of the last things he wants to leave with all of us as we bring to this program to an end. Paul?
Thank you very much. Let me borrow the good words of my brother Ifa. I'm being a Ghanaian this evening. And being a Ghanaian this evening, I've decided not to play politics. But just to say that I thank God that today my brother Ifa has admitted on this show that misappropriation is what is leading Ghana to where it is today. And who is in power? It is his government that is in power. So if he's talking about misappropriation, technically, or he's trying to infer that Nanado is mismanaging the country.
Don't go there, my brother.
Which I'm happy that he's admitted. Number two, I am happy also that he's admitted on this show that we can reduce revenue losses And I am saying that the ways that we can reduce revenue losses is for him to advise the Jubilee House, because they'll be going for briefing tomorrow in the evening, that the £15,000 an hour jet that is sitting on the tarmac should be returned. And also the Land Cruiser, which I drive some over here in this country, which the president has purchased and putting his seat in it, should be returned. And just to also set over here that teachers are suffering, computers are suffering,
painters are
suffering,
the
Macy's are suffering,
the market is suffering,
EFA is suffering, Legacy is suffering, Nanado is suffering, and the economic wizard is suffering. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to take the opportunity to thank you all for actually making it to the show today. I really appreciate it. I know you have important places to be or things to do, but you make the time every Saturday to join me as we discuss issues that we table for our listeners. And I also want to appreciate...
I have over 14 inches of snow to remove.
Oh my God.
Wow.
No, what I did yesterday, I put a
quick one. Lifetime Legacy, I've taken note of your conversation and I'll see what I can do about that. Thank you.
I don't think he's speaking for his party though, but anyway.
I'm going to move about 14 inches of snow right now.
Yeah, so yesterday what I did was I went and bought some salt and put out before the snow came in. So I'm in good shape, but I'll definitely I sympathize with you.
And I'll be in your area next week, so you should expect me. Maybe I might call on you.
Absolutely. Maybe we could do the show together, if you're available. Sure. Okay. So that has been the show. Thanks you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. Next week, we'll be back. And I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting conversation. These two gentlemen, Afa and Paul, very informative hearts and bring, they always meet the expectation and even exceed it every week. And Lifetime Legacy as well, a mainstay on this program. And we really appreciate all of you. And for the listeners, thank you for watching us. Please share the link like Afa says so that we can make this program where we can take it where it deserves to be. In other words, take it all the way to the top. We know we are making our strides, but we can't do it without you. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. My name is Alfred Amuzu, and this has been the Ghana Agenda for January 29th. Thank you. Bye.